as the family of Lisa Holstead, who was the victim in Green Bay's oldest cold case murder, is speaking out tonight after the convicted killer has been sentenced. The victim was a single mother who was found raped and strangled back in 1986. Today, 67-year-old Lou Archie Griffin was sentenced to 10 years in prison for her death. Nina Sperano has been following the case since before Griffin's arrest and is in studio with that exclusive report. Nina?
This case ended today with what the district attorney called a compromised outcome. He says the right man is behind bars, the man who's convicted of murdering Lisa Holstead. But this complicated case resulted in what the family calls gross injustice. Here's a timeline of what happened in this case.
Back on August 12, 1986, Lisa Holstead's partially clothed body was discovered in a marshy area in the northwest side of Green Bay. But without enough evidence, her murder went unsolved for 34 years. In 2019, Detective David Graff with the Green Bay Police Department was able to use DNA evidence found on Lisa's body, along with the use of investigative genetic genealogy, to track down a suspect. In October of 2020, Lou Archie Griffin was arrested and charged with first-degree murder of Lisa Holstead. January of 2023, Griffin's attorney pleaded down to a lesser charge of homicide by reckless conduct, a Class C felony, with a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. And in court today, 67-year-old Griffin was sentenced to 10 years in prison, the maximum penalty available under laws in 1986. Due to old sentencing plus time served, Griffin could be released from prison in 4.5 years and is eligible for parole in less than 6 months.
It was a tough day in the courtroom. Not only did Lisa's family have to face the man who's convicted of killing her, but 6 members of the family took the stand to deliver impact statements to the courtroom. And after 37 years of waiting for justice, they learned Griffin will likely only serve a handful of years behind bars. I spoke with Lisa's son, Jeremy, who was just 5 years old when his mother was murdered, and her sister, Susan. They call this a gross injustice for what happened to their loved one and tell me what they plan to do about it.
I miss you, Lisa, and I'm sorry that you got the injustice that you're getting today.
If it was up to me, it'd be a life for life.
Speaking directly to Lou Archie Griffin, the Holstead family spoke their piece.
You're a coward. You're a coward.
And I just don't think it's right they get to serve such little time for a horrendous crime. I'm done.
In this courtroom, the Holstead family found closure, but not justice.
I do have some closure. I'm happy the court process is done. And we have a name and a face for the person who murdered my mother.
For us being in 2023 and have to bounce back to 1986 laws where he's only going to get 10 years, it's revolting. It's disgusting.
67-year-old Griffin was sentenced for homicide by reckless conduct. Under the United States Constitution, a person has the right to be tried and sentenced in accordance to the laws at the time they committed the offense. In this case, it was 1986. If convicted today of the same crime, Griffin would have served a maximum of 40 years. But because her case was pleaded down before it went to trial to the lesser charge, Griffin's maximum in jail is only 10 years.
If he wanted to have 1986 sentencing, he should have turned himself in 1986. If you get caught in 2023, you serve your 2023 time.
Brown County's District Attorney David Lissay says because of the decades that Lisa's case went cold and hearsay testimony being allowed in court, instead of a first or even second-degree murder charge against Griffin, Lissay says to bring justice to the Holstead family, he needed to secure a conviction.
We needed to secure a conviction. We needed to ensure that Mr. Griffin was held accountable for his actions in this case. And as a result, we had to come to a compromise in terms of the nature of the charges.
The DA calls it a compromised outcome.
At the end of the day, there is accountability. We know who killed Lisa. That person has taken responsibility legally for her actions. He's sentenced for having killed her, and he's labeled a murderer.
Lisa's family calls it injustice.
His sentencing is done already, so nothing's going to change that. It's for other families that, we're not the only cold case that was out there.
37 years after her death, Lisa's family continues to honor her memory and will continue to fight for justice in other cold cases. Jeremy Holstead says amending the Constitution that follows old sentencing laws in homicide cases is the only way to make sure no other family goes through the same outrage they faced the last 2.5 years in court.
I mean, I know a law is a law, but laws change all the time.
I'll fight until, as long as I can, to get that changed. And I know Jeremy will too.
The Holstead family tells me they know this will be a long process to try to get the constitutional law amended so other cold cases don't have to follow those old sentencing laws. But it's been 13,377 days since Lisa's death, and they'll just keep on counting. John?